Welcome back to 6-Minute Math, where we turn confusion into clarity 6 minutes at a time. Thank you for joining us today for our video on finding sides in a right-angled triangle. Be sure to ring that bell to get notified of more 6-minute content coming your way. 6 minutes tends to go by quickly, so let's get going. Our key points today are steps to find our sides in a right-angled triangle. The first step is to label your triangle according to the reference angle, and we're going to label it with hypotenuse, opposite, and adjacent. So if I have a right-angled triangle, I always like to have a good habit of circling my reference angle, and then I label according to that angle. So our hypotenuse is always across from your right angle. Our opposite side is going to be on the opposite side of our reference angle. And then the adjacent side is beside or the last remaining side of our triangle. Then we're going to decide on our formula. In each of these situations, we are going to know 2 of the 3 items. We are going to know our angle and 1 of the sides. A helpful mnemonic device to remember our trig functions is so, ka, toa. And then lastly, we're going to solve for that unknown. So let's check out some examples here. We're going to solve for x in the following triangle. And I have my steps here. And to help me, I also have SOHCAHTOA. So the first thing we're going to do is circle our reference angle and label. So I have my hypotenuse, our opposite, and our adjacent. That's A. In this situation, we have our hypotenuse, or we're looking for a hypotenuse, and we have our opposite. So which trig function has opposite and hypotenuse in it? We are looking for our sine function. So we know that sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So I plug numbers in. We have sine of our reference angle 37 is equal to 5 over x. When our variable is in our denominator, we can just pull an old switcheroo here and switch up our variable and our trig function. This gives me x equals 5 divided by sine 37. I would plug that into a calculator, and I would have x equals 8.30820. And then my question is asking me to round it to the nearest tenth. So in this case, x is equal to 8.3. On to another example. We're going to solve for x in the following. So we're going to circle that reference angle again, and we're going to label hypotenuse, opposite, adjacent. In this situation, I have my adjacent and my opposite, and I look at my trig functions, and I know that I'm using my tangent function. So we have tangent theta is equal to our opposite x. Oh, let's put opposite in there first over adjacent, and then I can plug numbers in. We have tangent of 58 is equal to x over 11. In this situation, I need to get rid of this denominator, so I'm just going to multiply both sides by 11, which cancels that off. We have 11 times tangent 58 equals x. Therefore, x is going to equal 17.60367. We're going to round that to the nearest hundredth for x equals 17.60. On to another example. We're going to solve for x. So let's label that triangle, circle our reference angle, We have our hypotenuse, our opposite, and our adjacent. We're looking for our hypotenuse. We have our adjacent, meaning we are using our cosine. We have cosine of theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Cosine of 29 equals 9.5 over x. We have our variable in our denominator again, which means we pull the old switcheroo, giving us x equals 9.5 over cosine 29. Into a calculator that goes, x is equal to 10.86186. And then rounded to the nearest tenth, we have x equals 10.9. Those are all the examples we have today for finding sides in a right angle triangle. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and TikTok at 6 Minute Math, and be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment below for any topic you want to see me tackle in a future 6-minute episode. Always remember that the best way to get math is to practice math, so keep on practicing. And until next time, keep solving and evolving.